Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
Welcome to Periscope, Scott Squires and Firm TV, just outside of Truro, and this is a pretty historic spot and a pretty popular spot for tourists to come to. I'll just show you the area over there, and just mud flats now, but when the tide comes in, it's absolutely unbelievable. Some of the highest tides around are in this area right here. In this particular area, I'll read this to you. The first landing in 1760 to 62 near this head of Cobequid Bay, the first English-speaking settlers of the townships of Onslow and Truro landed of Ulster, Irish, Scottish, and English stock. These pioneers were among those brought to Nova Scotia from New England by the government to take up land formerly occupied by the Acadians. Acadians, of course, were of French descent, and there's a very famous or infamous time in Nova Scotia history known as the expulsion of the Acadians, when basically if those of French descent wouldn't sign allegiance to England, they were forced to leave their lands, leave their homesteads, and take their families with them. And a lot of those folks ended up going down into the United States, and in the US, those folks are now known as Cajun today. So when you hear somebody talking about Cajuns or Cajun food or Cajun parts of the US, it's actually people of Acadian descent from the provinces of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. And this is basically the schedule for the tidal bore. And this is brought to you by the Truro and Colchester Chamber of Commerce, downtown Truro, municipality of Colchester County. And basically what it is, if you want to come and see the wickedly high tides and then the super duper low tides, it gives you the schedule right here. And I guess we're on July the 4th. Happy Independence Day to our American friends watching this. So I guess we would have had the next big tidal bore, or the rush of tide, will be at 2:53 a.m. Atlantic Daylight Time. Probably will not be here streaming that. But I'll take you for a walk down here, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's just stunning. And when you do see that tide coming in, it's actually awe-inspiring. You can hear the rush of the water, and to see how quickly that water does rush up, it is quite something to see, the raw power of nature. Now I'm going to attempt, in my flip-flops, to walk down these rocks, so I'll attempt to keep this shot as steady as possible here. Hey, look at that, I made it down and I didn't even kill myself. That's great. So I'll just flip this camera around here for a minute. Hey everybody. So I'll do a quick spin around here. You can kind of see the full view. It's beautiful here. So we'll switch it back to the other camera. I don't know if you get the full effect in this stream shot, but it's very dark, muddy, murky water. It's obviously quite low right now, the tide that is. You can see much of the muddy bed and the muddy banks over on the far side, but you can see the town of Truro is just over in this area here. Town of about roughly 13,500 people. It's the largest town in Nova Scotia, not city, largest town. And you go a few minutes outside of the town and it's incredibly beautiful rural land. A lot of rich farmland, beautiful soil. Kind of a mixed sky. As you can see this evening, kind of a beautiful sky actually. Scott Squires and Firm TV bringing you some of the sights and sounds from around Truro. I try to take a little tour around town each day and show you the sights and the sounds of the town. And again, you know, when you listen to what I read when we first started this stream about the settlers coming over in the mid to late 1700s, you know, as you stand on the banks here and you look at this water and you see the land around, you can just kind of put yourself back into the shoes of those early settlers and what it must have been like coming to this land. Certainly didn't have the amenities that we have today. There was nobody standing on the banks in the 1700s doing a live stream, that's for sure. But wherever you're watching this, whatever part of the world you're in, I'm glad to be able to share a little of my world with you. Scott Squires with you on Firm TV. Let's give you a look around. I've got my casual look going. I got a little bit of scruff. It's okay. It's a Saturday. Packed the razor away today. Hopefully wherever you're watching this, you're having a great day, especially if you're one of our American friends enjoying the 4th of July, probably getting ready for some fireworks at some point this evening, having a barbecue, I'm sure. I read some stats the other day about just on the 4th of July how many pounds of hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken wings and things like that are consumed, how many beverages, beer, get consumed today. So 4th of July, big day in the States. We had, of course, our big day a couple of days ago, Canada Day, July 1st. Switch that camera back. It's an absolutely beautiful sky. Sometimes when you get those high cumulus clouds and mixed in with some of the grayer clouds, you get those light azure blues, and you pan down to see the starkness of that water and the brownness of it. I know, again, hard to tell from this shot, but when the tide is high, that water comes about halfway up these rocks. So perhaps what I'll do is come back and do another stream in the next day or two when there's high tide, just so you can see the contrast. So thanks for watching this. I'm Scott Squires, Firm TV. Please follow me on Periscope. Share this with your viewers and followers, and also follow me on Twitter and follow me on Meerkat as well. And Periscope, Meerkat, and Twitter, it's all at Firm TV, F-I-R-M TV. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon.